What's going on, you guys, and welcome back to a different perspective. Today we're about to have a very necessary conversation. I had one of my viewers send this video in to me. He really wanted me to check it out. I am a fan of this content creator. I done came across her stuff on YouTube, TikTok, all over the place. She does phenomenal work. She's a very understanding woman from what I can tell. This video right here is titled, "This is Why Men Are Afraid of Women." Like I said, this is a conversational channel, so I'm about to be diving deep. I'm about to be giving a lot of different examples of what it is that she's talking about in this video. Y'all boys, girls ready? I'm ready.
You know, I really fail to understand why some women can't see why men are afraid of women. Oh yeah, I said that. See, I've been seeing a bunch of these videos towards men. Why don't men understand why women are afraid of them? But I have not seen one female make a video being like, here's where we're messing up. But don't worry, because whether you like it or not, that's what I'm here for. Men are afraid of women because right from little boys, they're taught that their sole purpose in life is to marry a woman and provide for her. But, just so you know, if she decides to leave you, she can take everything that you earned.
It's funny that she started with that, because this has been something that's been on my mind a lot lately, and I've had some discussions, agreements and disagreements with a lot of different women over this topic. And not gonna lie, if anything has been scaring me as of lately in regards to women, it's this one thing, because it does seem pretty unfair that, let's say, get into a relationship, marry this woman, something goes south, we get a divorce, now she has the rights or the potential opportunity to take half of everything that I have obtained even before the relationship. Doesn't sound fair, does it? And what's funny is a lot of the women that I speak to about it, most of them make it seem as though, wait, no, that's right, that's completely fair. I do deserve half of everything that you have. What? How does that sound? What's funny is when you ask the women, would it be okay if I took half of everything that you earn? They're completely against it. What sense does that make? Where's the equality in that? Women tend to fight for equality when it's beneficial to them only, really only. Because I'm thinking of it like this. What, 80% of divorces are filed by women? I think, what, maybe 50% of marriages end in divorce? So I'm already going into this situation with this 50-50 chance of us staying together, and the likelihood of her being the one to divorce me is a lot higher than me divorcing her. Now, I know some of you might think, well, you shouldn't even be going into a relationship with that type of mindset. You should be going in there with the thought of to death do us part, right? I agree. I agree with that entirely. But think about this. You'll be foolish to not protect yourself in the case of something going wrong. Prenups. Look, I've recently decided I probably won't ever get married. But in the case that I do, I'm gonna have an attorney, a lawyer, or a photographer, videographer, whatever the heck I need present when we're writing that prenup. And I'm gonna have people advising me, professionals advising me on what exactly I should be putting in this prenup. I know exactly what I want to be putting. You ain't, look, whatever you came in this with, you leaving with. I suggest that you earn your own keep, you earn your own money. Even though I'm gonna be taking care of the bills, I suggest you earn your own money, because if something goes south, you ain't getting half of mine. I'm not about to pay for you if we're not in this relationship together. Doesn't sound fair to me. Doesn't sound right. You wouldn't want to pay for me, vice versa. I'm not gonna pay for you. But again, I know people are like, well, you're going in with the wrong idea. You're going in a relationship with the thoughts and possibilities that it could potentially end. Listen, no one gets car insurance hoping that one day they will get into a car accident. No one gets health insurance hoping that one day they will get sick or fall ill to a life-changing disease. You get that stuff in case those things happen. Same thing with life partnership. Protect yourself. And it goes both ways, because there's many cases where the woman was out earning the man. Now she's paying to take care of him outside of that relationship that they're no longer in. Because I'm looking at it like this. If I get divorced and now I have to pay monthly for this woman's well-being because of the lifestyle I was able to provide for her during the time we were together, it's going to hurt me to get into a relationship with another woman, because now I'm going in with far less than I had before. If I wanted to marry again. Let's have these conversations. Let's protect ourselves, both men and women.
Including your children. Men are afraid of women because there are too many stories of a man calling the police because a woman has hurt him, and the police either arrest him or tell him that he's lucky he didn't hurt her in the process of defending himself, or else he'd end up in jail.
I got some examples of that. One example happened to a friend of mine, buddy Jonathan, I grew up with. I ran into him one day, hadn't seen him in years. We sat there, chatted up for a little while, got to see where he was at in his life and what he had going on. He told me that he had recently got out of jail, where he was for about a year or two, because his girlfriend or baby mother lied when they got into an argument, called the police, lied to the police, and, excuse me, and said that he put hands on her. At that time, when I came across Jonathan, he seemed like he was in good spirit. I think he was in a new relationship with someone else. But two things. This man had spent over a year in jail for something he did not do. And the second thing, he wasn't able to see his child. I could tell he was upset about that. Crying upset about that. The woman wouldn't allow him to see his child. She put that type of restraining order on him. And he was very upset at the fact that he couldn't understand why she lied. It's like, I've not once ever put my hands on that woman. I would never do that. No matter how angry and upset I got, I would never put my hands on a woman. I can't understand why she lied. She lied to have a one-up on him. She lied so that she could feel like she was in control of the situation. Because during the argument, he probably had some very valid reasons for why he was upset. So she wanted to hurt him, and she was willing to do whatever it took to do so. I got other stories of that too, but that's all the example you need.
Men are afraid of women because women are predators too, and many of them prey on men knowing that society will let them get away with it. Men are afraid of women because there are too many stories of men playing with their children at the park, and some Karen calling the police on them because they're convinced that that man is a pedophile and has stolen that child.
Yes. I've heard about a case like this recently. It happens. It happens.
Men are afraid of women because there's no birth control made available for men, so there are a lot of women that lie about being on birth control just to baby trap a man. Men are afraid of women because society has given women the choice that if they get pregnant, they can choose whether or not to follow through with it. But a man, he does not have that choice. And you can sit there.
I've been pro-woman when it comes to this matter. I'm always thinking, I'm like, you know what? It's your body, your choice. Simple as that. Your body, your choice. But it does eliminate the fact that the man has no say-so in it. It took both people for that pregnancy to occur in the first place. So both people, I feel, should be able to come to a mutual agreement. But at the end of the day, her body, her choice. Right? And too often, are there women willing to trap a man because maybe a potential financial gain they can obtain off of having a child by him? You see it a lot in the entertainment industry.
and say to me, well, he has to hold half the responsibility because he helped make that baby. But how come you don't hold that same argument when he's the one paying solely for that baby for 18 years? And her excuse is, well, I carried it. I'm the mother. Men are afraid of women because there are a lot of men that have been molested, sexually assaulted, and raped by women. But yet the rest of society tells them that there's no way that they can be a victim.
Interesting. Yeah. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised how many women pray after young boys. I know it's hard to say and hard to hear, but you will be surprised. I remember myself when I was young, I used to think it was going to be no problem for me to get women or girls when I was older, because I always had grown women, I was talking about as young as 5 years old, had grown women saying things to me that they should not have been saying. Stuff like, oh man, if I was your age, I would be all over you, boy. Or, ooh, I wish you were older. I would hear it all the time. None of them ever tried anything with me, but they would say it to me all the time. So I was like, boy, I'm gonna be a player when I get older. But no. Instead, I became somewhat afraid of women for the longest. And I got another story to add, but let's finish this.
But most of all, they're afraid of women because women tell them that their issues don't exist.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. So, I remember when I first became afraid of women. Let me tell y'all this quick story, then I'll be out of your hair. I was in middle school. I was on the bus. It was some kids playing Truth or Dare or whatever. And I remember thinking, I'm like, yo, what? This is crazy. Like, I'm surprised this is happening right now. I don't want to get into the details. We're still talking about underage kids here. But I remember I got home that day and I was talking to my best friend at school. I remember the cat. His name was Jeff. I was talking to him on the phone and I was telling him about the whole Truth or Dare thing that was going on the school bus. And I was like, yo, man, look, next time I'm in there. I'm playing too. I'm not going to be scared. I'm going to jump in there, have a good time. You know what I'm saying? And he was rooting me on. I was like, yo, bro, I wish you rode my school bus, man. I wish you rode my school bus, man. We can do this, man. But, and that's where confidence comes from. The ability to cheer on and root for somebody that may not be able to do something in any given moment. I was confident that I was going to have a good time in this next game of Truth or Dare, to the point where I probably would have been the one instigating, hey, Truth or Dare, let's play. But I'm being truthful and letting y'all know that this is something that happened back then when I was that age. So get off my back. So after I got done talking to my boy Jeff on the phone, a couple of hours had went by and my mother called me into the living room to have a conversation with her. And when I got there, she was like, I heard you on the phone with your friend. I was like, what? She was like, yeah, I was listening. I picked up the other phone. Kids, if you don't know, I don't know if y'all still have these in your home, in your household, but you know, if you got a house phone, somebody can pick up the phone in another room and they can hear your conversation. So that's what my mom did, invaded my privacy. She picked up the phone and listened to everything that I was saying on the phone with my boy Jeff, every word of it. And she told me something, and it messed me up so bad that I was incapable of talking to females for a very, very, very long time. Scared the heck out of me. So this is what she said. She said, I heard you talking to your friend on the phone, and I heard you talking about what you said you're gonna do, this little game of Truth or Dare. She's like, boy, you can't trust these girls. You'll play that game, and then next thing you know, they might be okay with it. Later on, they might feel like they were violated or something, and then they can go to police and they can say that you raped them. I'm gonna use that word. Y'all know what I mean. They can say that you raped them or actually assaulted them. And I was like, what? She was like, yeah. And you could be put in jail for that. I was like, what? Are you serious? Why would they do that? They were playing the game too. What? She was like, yeah. She's like, they can do that. They can change the story. And with me saying that, it's a lot like what she's saying here. It's a lot like what she's talking about here in this video. How they can manipulate certain things, how they can change certain things to be in their favor or when they're upset. And that screwed me up so bad. I had confidence, more confidence before that situation, before my mother told me that, than after. Immediately after, I went from, okay, I thought I had an idea, to, okay, now I don't know what to do at all. Because I was never told, I didn't have a male role model or father figure in my life, none of that. All I had was my mother. And my mother told me what not to do, but she never told me what to do. So I didn't know how to be after that. I was so afraid to talk to girls. I was like, I don't understand where the line blurs between what's acceptable and appropriate and between what's unacceptable and inappropriate. I don't know. I don't know where to cross that line. I don't even know where they meet. I don't know what's okay and what's not okay. So I was like, all right, you know what? I'm not saying nothing. I don't want nobody to say that I raped them or actually assaulted. None of that. I'm not doing it. I'm staying to myself. And that's how I went from the rest of middle school career, all of high school, and well into my 20s. That was me. I was always on. And then it also had to do with the fact that all this stuff that she was saying in here in this video, all that stuff also was piling into it, because I'm not only seeing or viewing or hearing about these different scary situations and scenarios and stuff that guys are dealing with, but there's also other stuff in my own experiences that are piling onto, adding more fear for the opposite sex. And one of which a lot of guys don't talk about, and unfortunately a lot of young men and women are not aware of, is the relationship that they have with their mother. I'm gonna finish that conversation on my Patreon. So if you're not subscribed to me over there, make sure you check that out, Artofkickz on Patreon. But yeah, thank you, brother, for sharing this one with me. This is definitely one I feel like we needed to have a conversation about. But y'all know what time it is. Like this reaction, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned for more. As always, the link to the original will be down in the description box below. If you haven't already, make sure you follow your boy on the gram and Twitter at Artofkickz. I'll catch you guys in the next one.